You're listening to the Intrepid radio program with Scotty Roberts. Intelligent talk.
Hey folks, happy Friday night. It is the beginning of your Memorial Weekend. Do y'all have big plans? Y'all gonna have fun this weekend? What do you got going on? Tell me over in the chat room. We're gonna be, I think, pretty much sticking around here. We're not going camping or anything, but we're gonna go look at a new car tomorrow, a new used car, which happens to be, we answered an ad on Facebook, and it's right over in the next street. So we're just gonna walk over there tomorrow morning, take a peek at it. And by the way, I'm Scotty Roberts. If you don't know, this is my show, the Intrepid radio program, right here on the Odyssey Radio Network. That's ODYSY1.com. Go on over and see all the goodness that's Odyssey Radio and check out the schedule for all the times during the day that this show plays. And of course, you're watching on my YouTube channel tonight, youtube.com/Mr. Scotty Roberts. And if you see the little join button down below the video window, hit that. It's going to show you 3 ways you can become a member of this channel and help support this show. Thanks a lot ahead of time. Hey, everybody that's in here that's coming in right now. Master Finn, good to see you, brother. You say, hope you're doing well this evening. Oh, that was for Matthew, not for me. All right. Matt to Matthew. And so Matthew Sainsbury, good to see you as well. And who else we got? Hey, y'all, just got home, says Doug Stack. And so good to have you in here, Doug Stack. We got Susie Q. Susie Q is one of my original members here. What would you call it? Listeners, supporters of this show. And one of my original moderators as well. So, Susie, it's good to see you. Let's see. Doug Stack says, I'll be listening, doing some housework, just like a man of the house should be doing, right? And so who else we got in here tonight? I think that might be it so far showing up in the chat room. And there's more coming. We'll say hi as they come in. So welcome, everybody. Thanks for coming into the show. Friday night of Memorial Weekend. If you're driving out of town, like they do up here, everybody drives out of town Friday afternoon. They go up north, go hunting, go fishing, go camping, doing whatever they're doing. We're pretty much sticking around here. We might pitch a tent out in the backyard this weekend, maybe go hiking on Saturday or Sunday. It's going to be a fun weekend. So, hey, Steve Clark, good to see you, brother. Glad you made it in. Nice to see you. I hope everything's going well over on your spacious ranch out there in, or is it a farm? You call it, out there in Kansas. Good to see you tonight. And so I had my neighbor was just over, John, and he might come and crash the show. We may even get a Reuben Fast Horse appearance tonight. He feels really bad for missing the show the other night. He said he might try to pop in. I'm just going to see if he got my my message for that. Maybe. I just sent him the link. Let me put the link over here for you. It's Audrey. Good to see you, Audrey. Glad you're here. I'm going to put the link in right now. Link to call into the show. Boom, boom. There it is. There it is, folks. So you can come into the show if you want, and I'll bring you up. And, you know, if I think you're dumb or irrelevant, I'll just drop you. So, so there it is. Good to see you here, guys. Let's see. They called this moon by the Native Americans the flower moon. If Reuben comes in, he might talk about that a little bit. So we'll see if he makes it in tonight. And he's going to try to get in tonight. It was kind of we just talked about an hour ago. And I said, hey, I'll send you the link. If you want to come in, come on in. So, but he does feel bad for missing the show the other night. And so he may come in and we might just talk a little bit about Native American mythology and things like that. Even though we're talking about other mythology, biblical mythology, from the pseudepigraphal books and the book of Enoch and all of that, and the Watchers and yada, yada, yada. And last night we kind of left off talking about the sexual prohibitions that came out of some of the pseudepigraphal books. And I hope this stuff is enjoyable for you guys. Some of it's a little heady. Some of it's maybe not stuff you think about and talk about every day. And John, my neighbor, just a little while ago was saying, "What are you going to be talking about tonight?" And I said, "Well, the pseudepigraphal texts of Enoch." And he said, "Oh, Sudafed, I take that stuff." So there you go. We'll see. You got to get a new roof on the house, Steve. That kind of sucks. I do know a good roofing company, by the way. I don't know if they can get to Kansas or not, but I'll let you know. And let's see. Matthew Sainsbury. Yeah, I heard Crazy Horse, the Native American warrior, had some visions before he became a warrior. Yes, he did. And Crazy Horse was a young man. We talked all about him when we did the series on Native America and the conquering of the American West. So, Audrey, how you doing? You must be California Dreamer that Matt Finn's referring to. And what'd she say? Praying it's a great deal for you, Steve. Yeah, I hope so, brother. And so what all's going on with everybody? What's your plans for the weekend? What are you going to do? While you're thinking about that and you want to put it in, let's do a little spark courage. Why not? Oh, look at that. Look at that. I can flash the light in your eyes off the foil stamping on this. And if you don't know, those of you who don't know, it's a bunch of faux matchsticks. Spark courage. 50 ways to be bold. Let's see if we can draw one here that we've either not had or that we haven't had in such a long time. We can give it some fresh meat. Let's see what this one says. This says, here you go. How about this? Here's a challenge for you. See if I can get my thumb out of the way, my finger. Spend time with a person who challenges your beliefs or assumptions. You know, I just had somebody like that today. There's a little group for Somerset, which is the town we used to live in. We just lived the next town over, but all our kids go to school in Somerset. And there's a big argument with the school board right now about dropping the mask mandate. Now, there's only 10 days of school left, but then there's summer school. There's a lot of parents that are really upset. Apparently, there's a huge percentage of the community that wants the mask mandate dropped. And so I get into some conversations with people over there, and I've been extremely polite. You know, the event that is going to go on up here that I designed the graphics for, I showed you. Of course, my phone's ringing. It's Ruben Fast Horse. Hey, Ruben, we're on radio right now. You want to join us on radio?
Yes, I'm ready. I'm just calling.
All right, perfect. We're already on. So just come on into the wings when you're ready, and I'll bring you in.
So I go to the messenger site you have?
Yeah, I put it in your messenger. There's a link there. Just click on that StreamYard link, and I'll bring you right in.
Awesome.
All right. All right, see you when you get here. And so I was having a conversation with this guy today over there, and he's just militantly leftist and militantly... And after talking back and forth, there was one point I told him, I think you're just bringing up, he was trying to correct my spelling and saying I did this, but then he had typos of his own. I said, you know, that's part of the problem of typing on a phone. I said, sometimes there's typos. I said, but you got what I meant because you're criticizing me for it. I said, I think you're capitalizing on the little things so you can create an argument. Why don't we just have a good discussion? And a discussion went on, and each one he was nasty and mean and all of that stuff. And so, you know what I did? I invited him. He said, I'm blocking you. Not for any reason. I didn't do anything abusive, but he didn't want to hear what I had to say. And so, well, look at this. Spend time with a person who challenges your beliefs and assumptions. And I said to him, hey, I said, if you want to block me, that's fine. That's your thing. I said, but why not? Why don't we just become friends? I said, there's a whole lot more to life in social media than talking about the school district and masks. And I said, if you disagree with my politics, I said, that's one thing. Oh, and he put, I'll bet you now need the last word. Prove me wrong. And so I answered that. And I said, I'll bet you just want to block me because you don't want to have somebody who disagrees with your way of thinking. And I said, prove me wrong. And that's when I invited him to be a friend. I said, come and be a friend, unless you just want to block me because you disagree with me. I said, prove me wrong. and nothing more has been said. But now there are lots of people that are good friends of mine who have a very different political point of view than I do. Some of them have very different religious points of view or spiritual points of view than I do. But I still value their friendship. You look at Reuben Fasthorse and me. We're on different ends of the political spectrum, but we have come together on things so deeply in the middle that it doesn't matter. So, sometimes we don't look to challenge each other politically. But how about this? Like this recommends. How do you increase your boldness and your courageousness and your way of dealing with the world? The best way to do that is find somebody and befriend them and have conversations and dialogue that are outside your box of understanding or your assumptions, your chosen path of doing things. And when you do that, it strengthens you. And maybe you'll find you'll learn something from the other person and vice versa. So there you go. Maybe this is something we can all do. So there's your spark courage for the day. 50 ways to be bold. That's a way to be bold, to build your boldness. And so give it a shot. Hey, Elderberry, good to see you in here tonight. Nice to have you, brother. And anybody else sneak in when I wasn't looking? So welcome, everybody. Glad that you made it in here tonight. And my neighbor John, by the way, his wife got him a Father's Day gift, an early one last weekend. And it was a big smoker grill, a pellet grill. And it's also a smoker. And so they invited us over and we had burgers last weekend. And he's doing a big brisket on there tonight. He said, I'm putting it on. He says, by the time it's all done, it will have gone 18 hours tomorrow for their family gathering. And I said, and the beauty of that, I said, within 18 minutes, you'll be so stuffed you can't have any more. Isn't that the way it is? You'll spend hours prepping some kind of meal. Like, think of Thanksgiving. You get out the turkey. You get up at 5 a.m. and you start getting everything. You've been thawing the thing. If you bought it frozen, you thaw it for a day and a half. Or if you've got a fresh one, you start stuffing it. You do all the stuff with it. You put it in the oven for 4 hours and you start making and baking and cooking and all of that. And by the time you're all done by 2 p.m. and ready to eat, you'll eat. And in about 13 minutes, you are stuffed out of your head and you can't eat anymore for another hour or two or something like that. Isn't that the way it is? So, I don't know who you're telling to shush, Elderberry, but maybe not me. I don't know. Nice to have you here, by the way, and everybody else. I can't wait for pumpkin season, says Audrey. Yeah, I like pumpkin stuff. Sometimes it's a little overkill on the pumpkin stuff when it comes to fall and Thanksgiving and all of that. I love pumpkin spice, like incense or candles burning in the house. I love that smell. I love the Thanksgiving and Christmassy smells in the house. Pine needles and pumpkin spice incense and things like that. I love the smell of cooking turkey. We just did a big 20-pound turkey last week, sometime 2 weeks ago. Just stuffed it. I made a stuffing. And of course, my wife, being gluten-free, can't eat regular stuffing. But I like the way I make stuffing. I like to take the stuffing mix, and I had gluten-free stuffing mix. And so you make up the stuffing. And then I like to take Jimmy Dean's sage sausage, and I grill that all up and get that all ready, all crumbly. You add that into your stuffing. Then I like to take onions, green onions, chop them all up, throw those all in. Then I like to take apples. I'll take a couple of apples and dice them all up really small. Throw that in the stuffing mix. Then you just glop that and you shove it all up the turkey's butt, fill its chest cavity. Wouldn't that be a crazy thing when you think about it? That thing was alive and walking around and squawking, gobbling feathers. And in a couple of weeks, it's got stuffing being shoved up its butt. So you can eat it. And so that's the best stuffing. That's what I like to make. Sometimes I'll throw water chestnuts in it as well. And it makes a phenomenal stuffing. So I love that stuff. Elderberry, I was tied up waiting for them to come to give me an estimate, but never showed up until today, says Steve Clark. Well, that's too bad. Matt Finn, good foods like good women. Worth the extra time on the prep, Captain, even if the enjoyment's quick. Now, there is a truism, if I ever heard one. A great comparison, Master Finn. Good food is like a good woman. Worth the extra time on the prep, even if the enjoyment's quick. That is so very true. So, there, I'm running out of small talk. I could small talk for an hour. You know that. But what else could we talk about? It seems like there's so many things on my plate I want to talk about. So many cool stuff. By the way, my friend John, he just bought, and he didn't buy it. He got it for free. They had a bunch of city buses from Minneapolis out at, of all places, and I didn't know this when he first started telling me, my friend Steve Coffin, who owns the River's Edge out here. They had a bunch of the buses that they used for hauling tubers in the summer that went tubing down the Apple River. And they were giving them away. And so he and a couple of his buddies from work went over there, and they each got a free bus because they were renewing them all. And they didn't want to sell them. They just gave them away. And they said the condition was you had to take one of the old camper units. And so they took the campers too, all free. And so my buddy got one. It drives perfectly. There's nothing wrong with it. Apparently there's one left. I might talk to Steve about it. I always wanted to take a bus like that and convert it into a camper. And that's what John's going to do with his. So you get it for free. The only thing with this one, it's got a timing chain gear that doesn't really do anything. It's just the gear that everything wraps around, but it's got to be replaced. And it's just the taking apart the engine to get to it. And that's the only thing that's wrong with it. And so I may talk to my buddy Steve, who owns the place. Hey, you still got a bus out there? So I think that'd be kind of cool. And I'd always loved to take one of those, take an old bus, and you strip it down on the inside. You put wood floors down or wood laminate for the look. You know, it's a camper. You make it look purty. I've got a good friend of mine in the paranormal, Rachel Hoffman, and she did that to a bus, and she lives in it. And it looks phenomenal. And what a cool thing to do with your family, a cool thing to work on. You got to be handy, though. What did Red Green say? If she doesn't find you handsome, she better find you handy. So there you go. Hey, Gaza, good to see you from Australia. Glad to have you in the show tonight. Barbie D, nice to see you tonight as well. Glad you came in. And for all of those joining, do you observe Memorial Day down in Australia, Gaza? I'm just curious. Probably not. I think it's an American holiday. But if you do, let me know. So that's what we've got going on this weekend. Memorial Day. What's Memorial Day? It's the official beginning of summer. And it's the first holiday of the summer. Then you have 4th of July in the middle of summer. Then you have Labor Day at the end of summer. Well, Memorial Day, you know, we forget because it's all vacationing, it's all camping, it's all cooking out, it's all doing fun stuff. You got a 3-day weekend. We forget the purpose of it is to memorialize those who fell in action, those who served our country and died. It's a memorial for people that we know and our loved ones who've died and passed on. So if you get a chance, observe that and think of them. It's the unofficial, said Matt Finn. And I saw Gaza say, yeah, it's an American holiday. Okay. I was pretty sure it was an American thing, but I didn't know if you guys observed it in one form or another down there. So there it is, Memorial Weekend. We're at the launch of Memorial Weekend starting right now, Friday evening. So that's where everybody will be. It's for the veterans, says Barbie D. Exactly. And so last night, I promised you we would continue on talking about the pseudepigraphic book of Enoch. That makes it sound so high and mighty. I hope you enjoy this stuff. To me, this is great stuff. It's wild stuff. If you were raised in any form of Judeo-Christianity and you start hearing some of these things about these books, I think it sheds the rest of the biblical books in different lights. And to me, that's exciting and it's fascinating. And I got to tell you, the more I study, the more I find some of the biblical books are probably not as God breathed as we were taught they were. I think that you see a lot of history. You see a lot of the way the books were written, the audiences to whom they were written. And this book, Book of Enoch, is a crazy book. I always call it's the Old Testament on crack. And it's just got some wild stuff in there. We have the whole story that appears in 4 verses in Genesis about the Watchers coming down and intermingling with the daughters of men and bequeathing the Nephilim. And it's in 4 verses. In Enoch, you have it in 11 chapters. I mean, he just really spreads out into it. If you ever saw the movie Noah, did you ever see that one with Russell Crowe? I thought it was a good movie. It was well done. Didn't agree with everything it showed, but some people, especially like Christian circles, were panning the movie because, what was with the rock monsters, the CG rock monsters? Well, do you know that's actually part of the story in Enoch? How the Watchers were locked away, encased in rock, and they were eventually let free. And so that's an interesting part of that movie. I think it took away from some of the humanity of the movie by going into the CGI stuff, making it very science fiction-y almost. But other than that, I think the movie Noah was pretty good. And this is the time that we're talking about, the times of Enoch. Enoch was in the, look who's coming in. We got Susie Q coming in. Susie, I see you. You look a little fuzzy there. If you got your camera on, I'm going to bring you up. You ready? You ready to come in?
Yeah, you're not going to see me, but go ahead.
Hey, Susie Q. I couldn't hear you still. Turn down the sound on your computer because it's going to give us feedback.
It's off. It's off, sir.
All right.
I just want
How
to
you
know,
doing tonight?
I couldn't hear you.
Oh.
I'm calling in because I'm being brave.
You're being what?
I'm being brave.
Being brave. Be brave. Be bold. There's your spark courage. Spark courage. Call into the radio show you like listening to.
Yes, this is.
So what's on your mind tonight?
Well, I kind of wanted to talk to you about the shaman thing that you talked about last night, and you needed a little. Yeah, you wanted to fill the airspace, so I could just discuss it because.
Well, let's discuss it. I got a whole lesson I could do, but let's go ahead and discuss this.
Well, you said call in, and you put the link up there, and you were waiting for Ruben, so I was hoping I'd fill the hole before Ruben.
If Ruben comes in, he'll come in. Maybe we'll bring him into at the same time.
That would be so lovely.
So tell me about this shaman. I know Teresa filled me in a little bit afterwards. I went, oh, that guy.
Yes, that guy. David Elderberry sends me a text once in a while and invites me over there. And once I got there, he's just so refreshing. And
yes,
it's like it's a pure of spirit place. He's a shaman in training. And I'm really sorry about not having a video, but I thought my avatar would come up, but it doesn't.
That's okay.
Oh, well.
That's okay.
When I get a little cuter, I'll get on stage, but I wasn't prepared to be.
Cute enough. Come on.
Y'all know that's kind of what I look like when I got my face on, but it's a confidence thing. Anyway, onward. We'll call it the COVID 30. When I get them off, we'll be good.
All right. There you go.
Right? It was really average. Everybody, like in the average overall, people gained 24 pounds during COVID.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Do you know?
So all of y'all who gained weight, all of y'all just.
As funny as it seems for being an old man who is not in the kind of shape he was 40 years ago, I didn't put on a single pound during COVID.
Oh, that's awesome, sir.
Yeah.
That's absolutely awesome.
It surprised me.
But I can't say that. I can't say that. Right.
So about the shaman.
But anyway, on my little journey, yes.
All I was going to say about the shaman is that the reason I question it is like I question everything. See, in the fields I've been in, over the last 15 years, I've met so many people that say, I'm a shaman. I was like, okay, yeah, whatever. And somebody else,
Right.
I'm a psychic. And it's like, okay, yeah. And prove it to me. And so I hear that, and I hear some of the things that the show. Well, you will feel this with the gods. You're one with the God, and all of that. And I say, well, where do you get that information? I'm not doubting you. I'm not doubting a shaman.
Mhm.
I just want to know, how do you know this? Is it because if it's
It's
just a
extremely
singular revelation, it becomes a singular message. So what makes this a more widespread message?
I've been searching for this for a while. Knowing that there must be a creator because things work too well.
Yes.
The symmetry, the beauty, the flowers, the things. But labeling it all in a book is absurd to me. It's absurd to put a label on it, other than
I can agree with that.
I get impressions of things.
Mm-hmm.
I get impressions of feelings about things, and I don't know if you can call it discernment. I don't call it clairvoyance per se, but just impressions. And when I get a feeling about certain things, like this Atlantis thing, I was trying to deny it. Some of the reasons why I decided to go ahead and back out of my feelings about that. But now that they've found it for real, which I've seen that in the desert before, I've seen documentaries about it, about it, and now it's confirmed that it is Atlantis, which we probably all really knew anyway. But I've allowed myself to freely embrace that again. I'm getting like downloads about things, and I don't fear it. Whatever's coming in the world, this ascension thing bothers me not. I no longer fear death. There's many reasons for this.
Sure.
And I was a fearer of death, sir. I've been dealing 11 years ago, maybe almost 12 years ago now, I had to have my uterus taken, and they told me it was cancer. Well, the fentanyl fried my liver.
Oh, boy.
Now, I chose not to die. I also chose not to do another surgery for the rest of my life. Because even though I had, and this is a confession of liver disease, my liver function level was normal when I went into surgery. It has never been normal since. It is 11 years now.
Oh, boy.
I keep the light within me. I totally feel that I control the body I'm in, if that makes any sense.
Yes.
And it took a long time, and over the course of this year, because I used to be slimmer. I was always call me Hilda. But no, it's fine. I have a size 9 ring finger, and I can pack a punch if somebody messes with me.
Nice.
But I'd be considered short at 5'2.5", 3.
Yeah.
So
I was 5'2.5".
Doesn't work well if you put on the if I put on the pounds, But still, I can still ride. I got to ride my motorcycle around the section last week. Was it a week and a half ago?
Nice.
And that was lovely. That was a wonderful thing. I haven't been on it in a long time because I don't want to get into everything that's going on, but when you find yourself unable to do things that you used to be able to do because of a bad back, you have to start loving yourself just the way you are. Sure. And that was very hard for me. And this is this spiritual journey and the bravery that I've had to, it's bravery, because when you're scared to death and you do it anyway, that's right. Meaning of brave. I apologize. Johnny's talking to the kitty in the background. He doesn't realize I'm on there. Yes. Yeah, it's okay. At least there's only one person, not a bunch of kids running through here tonight or nothing like that. No grandbaby. And he won't quit because he still doesn't realize I'm on. Oh, well, if I holler,
my
it'd be
kids
worse.
do that all the time. I don't think they don't realize. I think they're just oblivious. So
I told him I was going to call in, and my computer's sitting here in a circle, sir. And most of the time I can tickle it and make it work, and it just wasn't. And then it just got kind of like, that's it. I'm going to call in. I've been wanting to call in for a long time.
I'm glad you have.
Well, I love and admire you, and you've helped me a lot. You actually brought me back in a little bit of the Abrahamic, but it's where I don't feel I can learn things from you without the pressure of having to adhere
I feel it
to
shouldn't be a pressured thing. It should be some of the stuff that we get taught. It's so dogmatic and thickly dogmatic that it starts to it feels like it cancels itself out because of that. And so I want to know, like I say, I want to know things. I want to know why things are the way they are. This is why I ask questions about the shaman. And I want to get him on the show, as a matter of fact.
Oh, you have to, sir. You have to, because now he's just this wonderful, mild-mannered reporter that he just comes off with this love that you just want to eat him up with a spoon, And you can't when you find somebody that when you listen to them, you can listen. He talks for hours, sir. I mean, like 7.5 hours, I think, one time, where we're all in there, and he'll read too. He does these animal spirit shaman cards or whatever, these animal cards.
Yeah.
And he was talking about, he pulled the fawn card for me, sir. And I've been through these struggles in my life.
Did you say F-A-W-N? Fawn?
It was a fawn. No, S-A-W-N, a fawn card.
Okay.
And it was about going to see Great Spirit. And Fawn had to show bravery because she met up with the demon. And he wasn't going to let her pass. And she says, but all I want to do is go to Great Mountain and see Great Spirit. He's got a message for me or what have you. I want to go see him. And the demon let her pass because she looked at him with such love in her eyes that his heart melted. And he let her go. She had no fear of him. She loved him through it. And that's how I live my life. And it was so moving to me. I could almost cry now because it was
I can hear that in your voice. I've always believed, and I've said here, that I think angels and demons, I think that there are the evil ones and there are the good ones. But I think probably a lot of those beings fall somewhere in the between. And
but I don't believe, I apologize for interrupting, but I don't believe there is a good or the evil. I think they're all creatures of creation, like the strange little bugs and the interdimensional beings, and they're all the symmetry. It's just like the crystal I just bought, and I will send you a picture of it, sir. I can even send it. I wonder if I could. I don't know if I can do it when I'm on the phone, but it's so cool, right? But maybe I always wanted to speak. I would love to speak when I'm not so nervous. One thing about talking with you, it's like talking to not really my dad because we're too close in age, but at the same time, I look up to you like that. I admire you and your tenacity in your life, your art, you keep going, and you have to, sir. You have to. You uplift so many people. Yes.
Oh. Well,
I just want you to know that this person named David, he's such a good person. I wish we could almost help him too. I don't want to say that right now, but he's someone you want to help. He's amazing. He used to be disabled and he's not so much now. He worked his way through it, and he's just someone to be admired also. Wow. And I think you would very much, once you start talking to him, you'll never want to stop talking. The next time that we go to that chat, I'll just send you a link on your text.
Okay, please do.
And then you can just come on in or whatever. He goes
all
on.
All right.
But I know you're
like to do that
sometimes. Yeah. And I appreciate you letting me on, and
I'll
try to be braver.
Absolutely. I'm glad. Anybody in the chat room, if you want to come on, you can come on. Even if you're not in the chat room, people can come on. And Susie, I'm glad you came on. It's so nice to see you all the time. And sometimes you can't stay, and sometimes it's say hi to the kids and all of that stuff. But I'm so glad you took the time to come in and worked up that boldness, that courageousness to come in.
Well, I got one more thing for you. I got one more.
Okay.
I got one more really crazy thing that you're going to think is really off the wall.
All right.
But in my home, I've got permission to build things here on where I'm living, and I'm going to be doing things to be sustainable here. I mentioned
nice.
this to you a long time ago.
Yes.
I want to tell you that there's a house in the tiny town of the 100 people that walls like a little posse, a tribe, a network. There's a house here, sir, for $28,000.
Wow.
And it's a 2-story, 5-bedroom house. It's got a lot big enough to put the biggest studio garage thing.
5-bedroom house and studio space.
Yes, sir. But we're in
move in?
we're in Nowheresville. You understand? We're in Central Illinois.
What state are you in again?
Central Illinois.
Illinois. Okay.
Yes, sir. But it's crazy. The prices, and they're going. There's only one left in town, right? Like,
oh my.
People are starting to scoop things up, but this particular house has been for sale off and on for a long time. And the funny part is,
send me a link. I want to look at it.
Yeah, so. I certainly will, sir. It needs a lot of love, but you'd certainly have my backup.
Getting my wife to move could be a hard one.
I know, but I'll tell you. But there's a problem. You'd want to homeschool. The problem with the schools here, though, I have to be honest about that.
That's fine.
But then there's the taxes. But I will tell you that because of where we live, in the county we live in, they freeze taxes for anyone over a certain age. So now that my husband is a certain age, then the taxes don't go up anymore, sir.
Ah, that's
and if
nice.
he gets a price for a decent, yes, because now I apologize for bringing up your age, sir. But at the same time,
my age,
you should look at it and
I say it all the time.
Well, you know what I mean.
Yeah.
But if you can freeze your taxes at 66 or whatever it is,
yep.
Then no, they don't go up anymore. And because we live in the rural area, we don't have the high taxes that we do in a bigger town. So it's just lots of things like that. And it's a doable budget. That's why I can thrive here. And you don't go hungry where we live.
Right. Do you have grocery stores?
I have the most lovely. Yes, I have a lovely grocery store within 15 miles of here, and then another one within 12 miles, and then the big Walmart is in 30 miles.
Oh, there you go. So you know what? We got a Walmart here in town. It's a mile away, but if we want to go good shopping, we'll go 15 miles over to Stillwater, Minnesota. So there you go.
But I've got a place where they have fresh meat. And there's lockers, but we're just living in the middle of farmland. I mean, that's what it is. It's a cornfield desert, though. There's no mountains. It's a boring landscape, sir.
It's flat. It's central Ohio or Illinois. What do you expect?
Yeah. But I'm in my motorcycle. We find the curves and the hills when we want to.
Yes.
Little holler.
See,
I'll let you go.
In a heartbeat, I could move someplace like that. A big house, 5 bedrooms, old house, blah blah blah.
Oh yeah, it's huge. It needs work, but it looks like they've done some work in the bathrooms. And we heat our homes here with natural gas in this town.
Nice.
It's lovely. You get rural living, but natural gas. And I'll just explain it to you more. I've always wanted to mention it, but now I've gotten brave.
Yeah.
I didn't really need to say it on air, but everybody else tells you what's going on with their real estate where they live. So
absolutely,
I
tell you guys what goes on with mine. So, well, send me a link to that. I want to take a look at it.
I'm going to be doing that like really quick here.
Right on.
Send it to you to the. Yes, sir.
Outstanding.
Okay.
Well, Susie, thanks for coming on. Thanks for working up
the. Yes, I love you all.
The boldness. All right.
Can I say one more thing, sir? Can I say one more thing?
Please.
I just want to tell all you gods and goddesses out there that the ones you're looking for at the end of all of this mess, in my opinion, is you. The evil one, the scary one, is you. You're going to answer to yourself if you're awful to others. You will make the scariest monster of all. So it's either you live a life of senseless acts of beauty, acts of love and generosity, because if this is all there is, you might want to live it grand.
There it is.
It's either that or senseless acts of hatred. And
Boy, ain't that the truth. That is a truism. So.
Okay, sir. I'll come on again,
Susie.
sir.
All right. I'm
right.
glad that you came on. I'd love to have you on again.
Okay. Take care now.
All right. See you, darling. All right, folks. That was Susie Q from the chat room. Nice to have you on, Susie Q. I'm glad you were here. So, we're still waiting to see if Ruben's going to make it in. He, as you saw, he called me at the beginning of the show. We'll see if he makes it in or not. And tonight. What else is going on? Hey, Scott Allen. Good to see you. Glad you made it in tonight. Anybody else wants to come in? You know what? Here's the link. There it is. We do have a show. We've got a lesson to talk about, if you want to call it a lesson. We got stuff that we can talk about. Well, we can talk about anything we want. This is the beginning of a holiday weekend. Maybe this is a good time for people to just call in. And I will be doing a show on Monday, by the way. So once the holiday weekend is over for you, we'll do a Sunday morning show. Rainey, I think, has massages again on Sunday morning. So, it's nice for but her massages all bunch up between Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And so that's where she makes her money. And so Sunday mornings, I think she's got massages, so she might not be in here. But we'll do a Sunday morning show no matter what. And we'll do a Monday evening show, too, that will help you wind down from your wild holiday weekend and prep you for Tuesday morning to go back to work or go do whatever else you did. So there you go. And Steve Clark says, thank you, Susie Q. That was awesome. So you were awesome. And Matt Finn says, we love you, sis. So outstanding. Matt Finn is going to be painting. When are you going to be painting, Matt Finn? On all weekend? That's your Memorial weekend? Nothing wrong with that. So what time we got? It's already 9:43. Does it even matter that we get into a lesson tonight? Unless we hear from Ruben or somebody else. Let's just turn this in. This is open. Why don't you guys call in? Somebody call in. If you haven't called into the show before, you got a webcam set up. You saw Susie didn't have her camera on. That's okay. You can come in and talk. You can come in with your webcam. Come on in. You saw the link. I'll post it one more time over there in the chat room. Boom. There's the link for tonight's show. So come on in and talk with us. Especially, I'd like to see, if you haven't called in before, call in tonight. It'd be kind of fun to have you. We got a minimum of 15 minutes left of this show. We can go another hour if we want to. So why don't you come on in? Tomorrow's a Saturday. It's my day off from radio, is Saturdays. Unless I, did a surprise members-only coffee show tomorrow morning. All depends on if I'm up. Hey, you guys, watch your announcements on YouTube. We may just do, if I'm up early tomorrow, which I always am anyway, I may come on and we'll do a coffee morning show tomorrow. Maybe. Let's see how it works for tomorrow morning. So come on, anybody else want to try? Otherwise, I'm going to go in and I'm going to start taking a look at our lesson plan for tonight. The strange visions, the weirdness of Enoch, because there's so much there. And you remember we had the last night we left off talking about some of the things with the book of Enoch, the pseudepigraphal book. So I want to ask this question. And guys, click into this. If you want to talk about this too, you can. Which came first, do you think? Related passages in Genesis, Daniel, or Enoch? Now, we're familiar with Genesis. We're familiar with Daniel. You know the book of Daniel. Daniel, the character. Daniel in the lion's den. That story. So there's an episode from Enoch that might be significant for understanding the Old Testament. And specifically the passage from Genesis 6. That's the Nephilim story. And until the discovery of the Aramaic fragments of Enoch, there was really just only kind of a general agreement. Oh, look, I'm going to set this aside because you know who we got? We got Gaza calling in from Australia. All right, there we are. There we are. Here's Gaza. Good to see you, brother.
Hey everyone, how's it
How you
going?
doing? You're in your garden.
Yes, I'm planting all my bok choys, so I grew all the
Bok
seedlings.
choy.
Yeah.
I
And
use bok choy in stir fries and stuff. So I like it.
that's right. Yeah,
Yeah.
and it actually tastes different to the ones you buy in the shops. These ones are
I'll bet.
pretty nice. Yeah.
I'll bet. I would love to eat some stuff out of your garden and see how it
Yeah.
tastes.
Yeah.
So,
All my beans growing.
wow,
They're-
look at that.
Yeah, they're broad beans. Got bigger ones over on the other side as well.
Nice.
I got these giant broccolis. These. I just want to show you this.
Show us.
I just want to show you something, right?
I know broccolis can grow big, but
Yeah,
let's see
but
what
look
you
at
got.
this is the actual plant itself. So
Oh, look at that.
It's massive. You can see the size of my hand to the leaf.
Yes, yes.
And down here, they're even bigger. So I'm 5'9".
Look at that. Oh, that's a broccoli plant right there. Holy
yeah,
cat.
broccoli. And that's another
Nice.
one. Yeah.
So now with your gardening, do you maybe it's grandiose to say you live off of it, but can you actually sustain yourself and your family off of your gardening?
Yeah, you can. But you got to take every inch of your property to do it.
Sure.
We still buy stuff in because we actually give a lot of stuff away. but
yeah,
it's just the joy of giving away. It's the whole idea.
By the way, what time is it there? Is it about 11 o'clock noon on Saturday for you?
12:47 p.m.
12:47 p.m. on Saturday. So we're talking to Gaza from the future because it's 9:47 here p.m. on Friday night. So he's in the future, folks. So time travel is possible.
You're frozen.
So say again. Oh, we're having a little glitch, but isn't it amazing that we can be talking to Gaza from Australia right now? That's fantastic. To make a connection like that with our technology. So
sorry, you're just frozen. So
it's okay. We got a little glitchiness with the connection, but that's okay. So what else you got going on? What are you doing all weekend? You gonna just be working in the garden? Hey, tell me. Let me switch that a little bit. When you work in your garden, do you find that is that therapy for you?
Oh yeah, I connect absolutely. Because I don't have any grass. Everything is mulch. So, and then I got shoes on at the moment because it's quite cold. But
sure,
I just sit here and just either listen to you guys in my garden, and
nice.
I connect. Yeah, and it's just a relaxing feeling. It's like a deep meditation. You just get drawn into the ground. It's hard to explain, but yeah, it's like a drawing. Yeah. And it just makes you on a higher level. So like a couple of weeks ago, this guy cut me off on the road. I got really pissed off, and I got home and I was quite angry. I was a bit frustrated at work as well. And the first thing I did is just went straight into my garden, kicked off my shoes, and I grounded myself and just chilled out. And I guarantee within 15 minutes, I was totally turned around. Yeah.
Now I have heard, and I've done this, that you want to ground yourself really quick. When I was doing a lot of readings for people, I did a lot of tarot reading and stuff over the years. I had somebody tell me many years ago, you need to just walk out in your yard or your garden or the woods and go barefoot and just suck in the energy of the earth. And that's going to calm you. That's going to center you and focus you.
Yeah.
Tell me something about the spirituality of gardening, of getting your feet in the soil.
Yeah. So what I do is so when I come out into the garden, this is a routine that I do, is I stand here and I shake my body like a dog. So I was born in the year of the dog, so that's why I shake like a dog, I guess.
Yeah.
And so I imagine myself like these growth, sort of like I don't know, energy beams, but not straight, but like a network going down into the ground, into the earth, and connecting into Gaia's core. And then once I connect into Gaia's core, which I see it as it's just a shiny. I can't explain the color. It's a white, but not a white, but it's a real brighter than white. And so, and then I wrap myself around it, and then I connect. That's my connection. And so, and then when I go and get the water as well, which I showed, probably some of you would have seen, is you always give thanks to Gaia to what you're about to receive from her, and because of this is coming straight from her, the water. So it's really important to
I hear
us
the birds talking to you, by the way. Is that what I'm hearing?
Yeah. They always come around me. They were just having sex behind me just before. And
Nice.
there's three of them. There's three of them.
Nice.
Yeah, they're kinky over here.
Hey, you know, sometimes that's the way it works. So, tell me a little bit about you. You speak in using words and names that a lot of people would associate with, oh, that's just New Ageism. So, how would you? This is a tough question, but it's a consider it a question as if I don't know a damn thing. Your spirituality, then. You would not call yourself necessarily Christian or Jew or Arab or Muslim or anything like that. What would you call your spirituality?
My spirituality, I call basically it's my own journey. There's no religion in it, but my own, because it's my path that I'm leading and manifesting, which I've recently learned all about manifesting, and it's been quite successful. So. Stuff had come along, which I've been thinking about for a while. So it's all about me, myself, and I, and connecting into myself, because I used to be a Baptist, and then a Lutheran, and then I became a Mormon, and then once I broke away from all that religion to who I was, because when I was always there, I was always fighting against that. I asked too many questions, and as everyone does, has broken away. We're the ones that ask the question; they don't want to answer it, and always felt uncomfortable with their answers. So, so that's when I became myself. Yeah.
Okay, well, that's a great way to put it. So that's when you became yourself.
Yeah.
Certain things that we do that will bring us out of the, I struggle with this myself. It's the being so caught up in daily life, the life of the world. I live in a town, but we're really the outskirts of a huge metropolitan area.
Yeah.
About a half an hour from here. And so everything is always stores and cars and shopping and real estate and gasoline and
I just have to move my nose to just come out.
Oh, I love the clouds in the sky behind you. All those things that seem to drive our daily lives, the stuff that we forget, and we get lost into not being awake. We talked about this a lot about a year ago, and we talked about being awake, not woke, being awake, being aware that you're awake. And so is this what you experienced? Did the gardening come out of that, or did that come out of the gardening?
No, so I had a really rough upbringing, which, there's probably quite a few here that have gone through the same stuff. And so every time when I we're having my problems, breakdowns, whatever you want to call it, and walking outside into the garden and takes all that anxiety away. And so it's sort of like started off connecting that way. So, and then I would get like a pot, and I put a couple of plants in the pot when I was younger, and and then grew from there. So, and then I was able to control the way that the plant was grown, but I had no control in my life. So, so in a sense,
Yeah.
it was helping, guiding me through my journey by being able to do something and help something grow and myself grow at the same time. Yeah.
Damn straight. Absolutely. And I think that's something we forget to do.
Mm.
Not consciously, not like we brush it aside, but we're so busy with life that we don't see what life really is.
Oh,
And
yeah.
that's what I love about looking at your videos and
Mm,
talking to you now. It's
mm.
there's a now I'll bet you would be the first to bristle at this notion, but you seem so centered and peaceful and
Yeah.
focused, and that's gotta all of this plays together for you,
Yeah.
which is very refreshing to see.
Yeah, never used to be. My life was absolutely chaos, and
Yeah,
this is the first time actually in my life where I have this peace in me. Previously, before it was actually most people would have given up, I would say, and
sure.
mm,
Well,
so
you're talking to a guy who used to be 30 plus years in advertising, so
mm.
you look at that world and what that's like, and you
Oh,
get an
excellent.
idea.
Yeah,
So,
I nearly died. I nearly died twice. So I
oh,
don't know. I don't know if you can see. So there's another wake up call that I had. I think the angels
sure.
did it on purpose. But in my eyes, like one side is droopy. I had a
Yeah.
head injury, and so one eye is normal, one eye is droopy. So I lived with that for the rest of my life. And I had a motorbike accident and had a head injury.
Oh
So
man.
yeah, oh, yeah. I've been through hell. Doug Stack, we talked as well about his accident and mine and everything. I got flown to hospital by a Westpac helicopter at the time. So yeah, so I've
Wow.
I've got some big wake up calls in my life. So yeah.
Yep. Yep.
Mm.
Elderberry says Gaza is cool.
Thank you, Elderberry. You're cool,
So,
man.
hey, I got to introduce you to my neighbor, John. I was talking about him earlier. He just wandered in. He just wanders into our house. And, oh, hey, John. This is John. This is Gaza from down in Australia.
Yeah,
And
Melbourne.
so, yeah, John wandered in and I said, come on over. And he said, no. So I just made him come over. So
Good.
anyway, so good to have you on, brother. I want to
Oh,
do it
thank you.
again. I'd like to talk to you some more.
Oh, anytime. If you, as I told you before, any ghost stories? Oh, my grandmother's house was
Oh, we
haunted.
got to hear your ghost stories.
Oh my, yeah,
Maybe
my
we
God,
can
that
do
was
that
awesome.
on Sunday morning if you're around, which is going to be
Yeah. We're in
late at
lockdown.
night for
I'm
you.
not going anywhere.
Let's see, if it's 9:00 here, it's going to be 11 in the evening for you for a Sunday morning show on Monday.
Oh yeah, I'll be sleeping because I wake up at 4:30 in the morning.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, early riser.
Well, we'll get you another time for some ghost
Yeah,
stories because I want to hear them.
anytime. Yeah.
All right, brother.
Okay.
You have a
See you
good
later.
night.
Bye, everyone.
Hey, I'm just led to say this. I love you, man. It's
Oh,
great to
thank
have
you.
you. All
Thank you.
right.
Really
We'll see you
enjoyed it.
later.
Bye.
Good night. All right, guys. That was Gaza from Down Under. And so you know what? It's already 10:00. And my neighbor John's come over. He's going to pull me away from all this goodness. And we're going to go do something. I don't know what. Probably just sit out on the front patio. So let's see. Let me get rid of that. Blah, blah, blah. I got to see if anybody's got anything else to say. Probably not. So you know what, guys? This is it. It's 10:00 in less than 1 minute. So I want to thank you all for being here. I want to thank, and by the way, when I get back on to Odyssey and we start broadcasting on Odyssey as well, we're going to be back in that stricture of 25 minutes for the first half, ad break, 28 and a half minutes for the second part. But then when we end that show, we'll probably just continue on the live stream here as soon as we get that all set up. And so for now, we'll do a practice run. It's 10:00. And so we're going to get out of here. So you guys have a good Memorial weekend. Have a lot of fun. Again, if you have not, go down below the screen on Facebook. I think it'll be over on this side. Go down below the screen. You'll see the little join button. Hit join. Little window will pop up. 3 ways you can join this show, this channel: $2 a month, $5 a month, $15 a month. It's actually $1.99, $4.99, and $14.99. And you can see what the perks are that come with those. Go ahead and sign up. It's monthly deduction out of your card. And all of those you've done that, I appreciate that. That helps the cause over here. Helps keep this show active and vital. and it helps get Rainy on every now and then. So, all right, guys, you have a good night. And as always, you know what? I just want you to live long and prosper. Good night.
You're listening to the Intrepid radio program with Scotty Roberts. Intelligent Talk.